Even though we've just been dealing with snow, it's never too early to start thinking about summer plans. One of the biggest events in August is the Auction of Washington Wine's Winemaker Picnic, and the honorary chair for this year was just announced, and he just so happens to be with me in studio. Drew Bledsoe is a former Pro Bowl quarterback for the New England Patriots, a Washington State University Hall of Famer, whoa, and he's one of Washington's most recognized winemakers. Drew, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm proud to be here on St. Patty's Day. And actually, I was just noticing our Bob Healy, what we'll talk about, was named for my father-in-law, and he was Irish, so he would be very proud that I'm here representing his name on St. Patty's Day.
Well, I love that. What a special tribute. Yeah. And Drew, you've been part of Washington's wine story for a long time. So how did you get into winemaking?
Well, I grew up in Walla Walla, and I didn't know growing up that it was such an amazing wine place. We got to the NFL, we started to get into wine, and then we found out in the most real way that my little hometown where I grew up was making wines that could stand amongst the big boys in the world. We'd do blind tastings at the house, and I'd put something from Washington in the lineup against these fancy wines from Napa and Bordeaux.
Yeah.
And every time we did that, the Walla Walla wines would win. And for me, it was like, oh, okay, this is kind of obvious. When I'm done with ball, I got to go back home. I've got to double back to my hometown, return there and start a wine business. So it's been almost 20 years now, which is crazy.
Geez, 20 years. And how was the transition, though, from the NFL to winemaking, and just, I guess, the transition in general? Because you hear so many athletes after the NFL and you're, top of your career. What do you do next?
Yeah, it's a difficult transition for a lot of guys, a lot of people, I should say, not just NFL guys. But one of the things that I looked at for people that were successful is they had something to be passionate about. You had something to get you out of bed in the morning, and a place to apply all those things that allowed you to be successful at your previous career. Really passionate about wine. There were a lot of complications in that transition. I had to be a rookie again. I had to recognize that I didn't know.
Everything?
Well, actually, it turns out I didn't even know what I didn't know in a lot of cases. But it's been really, really an amazing thing, and to have an impactful business in the town where I grew up is very, very meaningful. It's cool to be back and be part of that community in Walla Walla and part of the Washington wine community, which is just absolutely amazing.
Definitely. And what's the story behind the vineyards that you choose and the style of wine that you make?
We're really blessed in the Walla Walla Valley and the Columbia Valley as a whole. We have amazing land that's got just this really cool geology. If I knew I was going to be a geology nerd in my professional life, I would have paid a little more attention in
class and
geology 101. But
Fair.
Just amazing land, amazing, perfect weather for growing wine grapes, and then we have just absolutely amazingly talented people. Many of whom on our team actually came from one of the charities or one of the endeavors that we're supporting with the Auction of Washington Wines, which is the Washington State University Enology and Viticulture program. So we actually hire a lot of people from my alma mater too, which is very cool. So yeah, it's been a blessing, and one of the things that is one of the biggest blessings in our industry is that we can use this as a platform to support very important causes like Seattle Children's Hospital, like Vital Wines that's raising money for farm workers, and then of course for my alma mater.
Absolutely. Let's taste some wine. What did you bring me today?
So this one is, like I said, this one is and by the way, wine for breakfast is okay.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, if you can't,
if an athlete is telling me that, I'm in.
It's good for you. It's good for your heart. It's good for everything. So this is special because we actually just released this widely today. It's a new project for us, named in honor of Bob Healy, my father-in-law. We think it's just a really special wine, mostly Cabernet with a little bit of Malbec.
This is amazing. Cab Sauves are like some of my favorite wines, and a red wine is the best. So good. Okay, I don't know how you're going to beat that, but there's one behind us. So
Doubleback was our original. It's our first child, if you will. People always ask like,
which favorite then?
Like what's your? Yeah, I was like, well, see, you have to be careful with that.
I know.
We have four kids, and so the political answer is, well, I don't have a favorite child, I don't have a favorite wine.
But we all know.
Yeah,
true.
we only have one daughter, so she's got a very special place in my heart.
She probably had it rough dating. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But Doubleback was our first wine that we made. It was the only wine we made for a little while. It was named, as I said earlier, I grew up in Walla Walla, went and played ball, and then doubled back and came back home. But we came back there specifically because we think the wine is amazing that comes from our valley. And so this is from the 3 of our estate vineyards, one of which our kids helped plant back in 2007.
Special.
So put some vines in the ground with their own hands. Thankfully, the kids and the wines have actually grown up nicely. And I like to think they both have character, but we really think this is a great representation of really the best of what our valley can do.
This is the best of the best. So good. Thank you so much for sharing. You can tell you're passionate about it, and I want to know more about the Auction of Washington Wines weekend, the winemaker picnic. Tell me all about it.
It's a great weekend. It's a lot of fun. Tickets are available now for the winemaker picnic that's on August 14th. Ton of winemakers. I think there are going to be 60 or 70 winemakers there showing off their wines. Great food, great live music. It's a really fun environment, but it also supports some really amazing causes. I mean, Seattle Children's Hospital, Wazoo, like we talked about, and then
and there's a fun gala too.
Then there's a gala the next night, which is much more, it's fancy, a little more buttoned up.
Okay.
We're going to have to, put on the.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Snazzy,
See, very,
okay.
very, very snazzy, right? I don't know if I'm going to go with the pink jacket, but we'll see. Maybe I'll surprise everybody.
Maybe some green. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
We'll see.
Exactly.
As a winemaker yourself, too, just talk about, again, you mentioned everything that this does for the industry and beyond, being a part of something like this.
Yeah, it's a really special industry to be a part of. It's rooted in soil. It's rooted in farming first. And, we try to take very, very good care of our farm workers. Sustainability is a big word in the world. Well, the people's sustainability part of sustainability is something that gets overlooked sometimes. So our farm workers they're employed year round. They have health benefits, retirement benefits, and they in turn supply us with this amazing fruit that is the backbone for everything that we do. But the community, when we got into the wine world, was so amazing in sharing information with us. We're technically competitors, but we really are supportive of each other across the board and really try to raise the tide for everybody in Washington State.
Mic drop. I don't think there's anything else to say. You can feel your passion. Thank you so much for sharing your wine with me and coming on the show today. We're very, very excited to have you. Cheers.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yes, cheers. Only one way to celebrate with wine,
I would say we should drink some green wine, but that just doesn't sound very good, does it?
No, after seeing those pictures in Chicago, I think I'm good on that.
We don't want to drink the river water in Chicago.